everyone! Today I want to talk about an Italian city that most students found mentioned in history books, though few had a chance to delve into its geographical location and cultural heritage. Originally a Celtic town, it was conquered by the Romans in the 1st century BCE. They named it Tridentum, meaning trident, as a tribute to the sea god Neptune, with reference to the 3 hills that surround the city, as well as to the abundant marine fossils discovered by Celts and Romans in the local rock formations. Eventually, the name was abbreviated into Trento or Trent. A fountain surmounted by a statue of Neptune stands in the center of the city's main square. Trent is located about 130 kilometers south of Innsbruck, Austria, in the wide Adige Valley, which lay at the bottom of an ocean millions of years ago. Roughly 60 kilometers northwest of Trent, Mount Ortler rises more than 3,900 meters above sea level. Trent became an important stop on the Roman road that led from Verona to Innsbruck. After the fall of the Western Roman Empire, it was conquered by Ostrogoths, Byzantines, Lombards, and Franks, finally becoming part of the Holy Roman Empire. In 1027, Emperor Conrad II created the Prince-Bishops of Trent, who wielded both temporal and religious powers. In the 14th century, the Trentino region was part of Austria. The Dukes of Austria, namely the Habsburg family, were also the Counts of Tyrol, and dominated the region for 6 centuries. A dark episode in the history of Trent was its notorious blood libel. When a 3-year-old Christian boy known as Simon of Trent disappeared in 1475 on the eve of Good Friday, the city's small Jewish community was accused of killing him and draining his blood for Jewish ritual purposes. 8 Jews were tortured and burned at the stake, and their families forced to convert to Christianity. Trent is sometimes dubbed the Twilight City for being nestled in the mountains and remaining shaded for much of the day, especially in winter. Another reason is because Trent marked the boundary between Protestant Germanic Europe to the north and Catholic Latin Europe to the south. Consequently, it became the location of a clash between the Protestant Reformation and the Catholic Revival. The Council of Trent, held between 1545 and 1563, was the embodiment of the Counter-Reformation. The council issued condemnations of what it defined to be heresies committed by proponents of Protestantism, and also issued key statements and clarifications of the Church's doctrine and teachings, including the biblical canon, the original sin, the veneration of saints, and eternal damnation. The Good Council, as it came to be called, could virtually decide who might go to heaven and who should go to hell. In the city's main park, a bust of the satanic poet Carducci faces a statue portraying Italy's most famous author Dante, towering over Minos, judge of the underworld. In 1558, the Cardinal of Trent granted the privilege of printing Hebrew books to a German rabbi, who published 34 works in the period from 1558 to 1562. The Treaty of Schönbrunn gave Trent to Napoleon's Kingdom of Italy in 1809. The population staged armed resistance to French domination, and the resistance leader was Andreas Hofer. Approximately 4,000 volunteer fighters died in battle against the French and Bavarian troops. In 1810, Hofer was captured and shot by French soldiers on the express order of Napoleon. With Napoleon's defeat in 1814, Trent was again annexed by the Habsburg Empire. The nationalist cause led Italy into World War I. Fabio Filzi, Cesare Battisti, and Damiano Chiesa were three well-known local irredentists who had joined the Italian army to fight against Austria-Hungary with the aim of bringing the territory of Trent into the new Kingdom of Italy. They were taken prisoners by the Austrians, put on trial for high treason, and executed in the courtyard of the city's castle, which is said to be haunted by their ghosts. The castle's interior boasts gorgeous frescoes, which are the best examples of Gothic painting in northern Italy. A mausoleum in honor of Cesare Battisti was erected on a hilltop just west of the city center. Trent was greatly affected during the First World War, and some of its fiercest battles were fought on the mountains surrounding the city, which feature extensive bomb shelters and tunnels. The collapse of the Austro-Hungarian war effort enabled Italian troops to occupy the region in 1918, and its annexation was confirmed in the post-war treaties which awarded the region to Italy under the terms of the Treaty of Saint-Germain. Under the dictatorship of Benito Mussolini, who ruled from 1922 to 1943, the German population of Trent was subjected to an increased forced program of Italianization. From November 1944 to April 1945, Trent was bombed as part of the so-called Battle of the Brenner. However, luckily enough, most of the medieval and Renaissance buildings were spared. Their facades are still decorated with allegorical paintings and demonic bas-reliefs, such as those on the Black Gate of Galasso Palace, also known as the Devil's Palace. Today, street art is particularly popular among local youth. An aerial tramway links the city center to Sardagna Hill, from which a 174-meter waterfall pours into the Adige River. The province of Trent, namely the Trentino region, as well as its northern reaches known as South Tyrol, produce some of the best alpine staple foods and drinks, such as Lowacker wafer cookies, several kinds of mountain cheese, smoked meat and sausage, not to mention forced beer, and various brands of schnapps and bitters.